On today's video, we are doing a Blu-ray haul for every Blu-ray and DVD I picked up between April and June of 2023.
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to another Blu-ray haul. Before we begin to the things I haven't talked about, we gotta talk about the things I have. I have already reviewed this Superman 4K box set, all of the positives, also all of the negatives, so go check out that video if you haven't. I have also covered the Star Trek Next Generation 4-movie 4K collection, Lower Decks Season 3 on Blu-ray, and Strange New Worlds Season 1 on 4K in its own video as well. And then lastly, I covered the Digimon Adventure original Japanese version Blu-ray in a video covering the entire history of Digimon on DVD and Blu-ray in North America. So go check that out if you haven't had the chance yet. All right, so we're gonna start the pickups for Disney stuff, because Disney's been doing their Disney 100. They re-released The Sword and the Stone on Disney Movie Club. This is literally identical to the previous Blu-ray release. I got this in a bundle with Peter Pan, but it has the, I believe this is the theatrical poster art or some of the original artwork released for the film. It's got a nice new spine design. It is the exact same thing. It does have, some of the bonus features like, the alternate opening, music magic, a couple shorts like Night for a Day and Brave Little Tailor. So it's got some stuff there, and it is that same restoration. Nothing different, just, here's Sword in the Stone once again. And then here we got Peter Pan. Now, Peter Pan, this does mark itself as a Disney Movie Club exclusive because it does have a new cover for the 70th anniversary. It is, of course, the theatrical poster art. As you can see, the inner case is also that because you do get the movie on Blu-ray and DVD, but there is a bonus disc with a single new bonus feature, that being In Walt's Words, Peter Pan, Go Back in Time and experience an insider's view of the actual story meetings with Walt Disney had with his famed animators. So that's kind of a cool new extra feature if you buy this through Disney Movie Club. I do appreciate the content warning that Disney is slapping on stuff, because if anything deserves it, it's Peter Pan. Also adding to that, they re-released Jungle Book. Jungle Book had a Blu-ray a while back. You can see this cover is kind of, very while back things. I did not have Jungle Book on Blu-ray, and so they did a Disney 100 re-release, which they're doing with a lot of their movies, where it's the silver background, main character Disney 100. It's kind of predictable packaging, but for me, I was like, oh, well, I don't have, Jungle Book on Blu-ray. So you can see, actually, it has a different barcode than the inner case, because they did change it for the Disney 100. They also did add the content warning as well, which didn't exist there on the previous release. In fact, this one says 2022 Blu-ray, because I know they re-released it last year. I didn't get that release. This is the 2023 release. So yeah, now I got Jungle Book on the Blu-ray collection. And then lastly, we had a new release of Mickey and Friends 10 Classic Shorts Volume 2. This one is a pairing to the Mickey and Minnie volume, which we got. This one was, we covered it in a previous one. It has 10 shorts, seemingly random. They are presented in a way where Mickey and Minnie introduced it like they were going through a photo album. This collection has tobacco depictions, but this collection has it where it's Goofy, Mickey, Donald, and friends going through, talking about, previous adventures with road trips and that kind of thing. So it's kind of like, they're going over sort of things. So they get introductions with the character voices that I think are neat. This includes Mr. Duck Steps Out, Winter Storage, Pluto's Party, Pluto and the Gopher, Mickey's Trailer, Pluto's Sweater, Boat Builders, Tugboat Mickey, The Band Concert, and Lonesome Ghost. So a good mix of some of the more famous shorts with some of the lesser knowns, which I think is a good way to do this if they're not going to do it chronologically. So we're 2 volumes deep. We don't know when the third one is coming, but hopefully it is soon, because I want them to keep pumping these out as much as they can. I have been quite enjoying them. So that's our little Disney Blu-ray update as they re-release things for the 100th anniversary. And I have been told from several sources and stuff I know coming up, there will be some more exciting Disney 100 releases probably in the next Blu-ray haul. Here's kind of my assorted section. This is a mixture of some new releases like the Looney Tunes Collector's Choice Volume 1 from Warner Archive. This is a single disc, manufactured on demand, Warner Archive, intended for the adult collector, may not be suitable for children, volume of Looney Tunes cartoons. A lot of these have not seen home video release since Laserdisc, if they had home video release at all. I still, much like with the Disney shorts, I do wish Looney Tunes had like a year-by-year collection. format as opposed to kind of doing these random collections, especially because a lot of the Looney Tunes Blu-rays are out of print. But these Collector's Choice ones give you a lot of stuff that hasn't been seen in a long time in official release. Like a lot of these had Laserdisc releases. Some of them, of course, have been removed from rotation due to the content not aging well. But this includes Beanstalk Bunny, Catch as Cats Can, The Unruly Hare, His Bitter Half, Daffy Doodles, Cracked Quack, Little Orphan Arendelle, Hip Hop, Arendelle. I said Arendelle like in Frozen. Sorry. Hip Hip Hurry, Hot Rod and Reel, Greedy for Tweety, Stooge for a Mouse Divided, A Fractured Leghorn, Plop Goes the Weasel, Tale of Two Mice, The Foxy Duckling, Two Gophers from Texas, Doggone Cats, What's Brewin', the Bedeviled Bruin. So there is a lot of mixture of Looney Tunes, a lot of the lesser known stuff. So it's pretty cool. This sold pretty well, so I hope we do see a volume 2 soon, because I definitely would like to collect this. And the shorts have been restored the best they can. Some of them look kind of like how they did on Laserdisc, but they did the best with what they had to work with. But it's nice release overall, and I do recommend it, especially if you want to see more of these in the future. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. This was the surprise movie for me this year. First of all, this is the Blu-ray 4K Steelbook, which has some nice artwork on the inside. This does include a 4K and a Blu-ray. If you buy the single 4K, it only has the 4K disc. If you buy the single Blu-ray, it has only the Blu-ray. They're not doing combo packs at Paramount anymore, which I don't mind, but I do like that the Steelbook is like, hey, you want both? And the nice part, too, is that you get all the bonus features for the 4K on the 4K disc. This was a surprise movie. I thought, hey, it looks fun. I went to go see it. Probably one of my favorite movies of the year, honestly. If you haven't had a chance to check this out, because I know a lot of people missed it in theaters due to crowded schedules, check it out. I think it's streaming on Paramount Plus, assuming they don't just randomly delete it one day, even though you loved Star Trek Prodigy. Sorry, throwing shade. But if you haven't checked out Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, it's out on home video. It's also available on digital purchase and streaming. Highly recommended. It's a lot better of a movie I think anyone expected it to be, and it's not only a great loving tribute to D&D and the whole franchise and the way that the game is played, but also just a really fun, great action movie if you don't even know anything about Dungeons & Dragons. It's a good movie for pretty much anybody, so highly recommended. All right, so also speaking of Paramount, the currently Paramount Plus / Nickelodeon Transformers Earthspark, we have the first season volume release. So much like Prodigy, where they did season 1, episodes 1 through 10 on Blu-ray and DVD, with Earthspark, they just did DVD. Really annoyed. This is an HD show. It looks pretty good on streaming. It doesn't look too bad on DVD. It is down res to 480p. That's just how DVD works. But I gotta say that, the current Transformers show has been pretty great. I've really enjoyed it. I hope it gets to continue. My confidence in Paramount isn't high since they canceled Star Trek Prodigy and removed it from their service with only 2 days warning. Actually, no, there wasn't any warnings. They didn't tell us when it was getting removed. So I hope Transformers Earthspark gets a long life, because I do know if it gets removed from Paramount Plus, it should go back to Hasbro. But to that extent, this is a decent enough DVD. There is no special features. It's just the first 10 episodes. If you're wanting to own it on physical disc, I wouldn't wait for a Blu-ray, but don't be surprised if you end up buying the volumes and they pop out a Blu-ray complete season later. But I imagine since they didn't do the Prodigy method of Blu-ray and DVD at release, probably just getting the DVD. Speaking of DVD, this was there's an ant on the box. Hey, why that? I know that's appropriate for the Addams Family, but why is there an ant crawling on the package? Anyways, the Addams Family Complete Series DVD set. I didn't have the complete Addams Family. I had the equivalency of what was in Volume 1. Didn't actually have the other two. So, this was on sale on Amazon for like $15. I was like, cool, got all of Addams Family. I've actually been rewatching it with my mom. We've been enjoying it, but I hate this. I hate double layered discs. If you guys want to know my number one pet peeve when it comes to DVDs or home video at all, double layered discs. Absolutely hate these. Whoever designed them should, I hope that they know what they did, because out of the package, a lot of these discs were kind of scuffed. There's just dirt on them. Trying to put them into a tray without actually scratching the surface is almost impossible, because you have to have 4 episodes on one side and 4 episodes on the other. So you have to turn the disc over, and there's no disc art protecting the top layer because you have to read it that way. I would have thought, since these originally came out, so it's an MGM-owned show, so I think Amazon owns it now, but this show was released by Fox originally on DVD with these dual-layered discs. And it's very obvious because even though this is a re-release done by Warner Brothers, because they had the MGM rights when this came out, it's still the Fox discs. Like, there's Fox logos and everything on it. They just printed the exact same discs from 2006 yet again. And the problem with that is that we still have these dual-layered discs, which is the most asinine, outdated, stupid thing that we ever did with DVDs. And I hate that every time this comes up in a modern release, because this re-release should have redone the discs to merge them into a single layered disc, because it certainly would have fit the same amount of content. Or just add more discs. It's annoying because I have to be really, really careful when doing this. Otherwise, though, the DVD set's pretty good. The quality is about what you expect for a 1960s TV show shot in black and white. And it has a ton of bonus features, like an absolute ton of bonus features from, featurettes to audio commentaries to all good stuff. It's a good deal if you can get it, but be warned, you will have to run into dual-sided discs, which I absolutely hate. Absolutely. I have nothing good to say about dual-sided discs. All right, DC's a little lighter this time because there wasn't that much that came out, to be honest, outside that big Superman set. Here is the Max Fleischer Superman 1941 and 1943 17 theatrical shorts, all on a single Blu-ray. This is a brand new remaster with a brand new bonus feature and 2 recycled bonus features of the original Fleischer Superman shorts, which should have a content warning. Sorry, I couldn't come up with the word content warning. Especially for the episode Japateurs. This show was made in the 40s, so yeah, it's very obvious. This is an iconic classic Superman series. This is kind of like a basis for a lot of Superman adapted media that actually carried forward into the comics. These all are included in that Superman 4K box set, back in their original crusty old DVD quality. This is a brand new remaster. Now, while the remaster is a little controversial, some people wish it was done a bit better. I think it could have been done a bit better. But what we got is way better than what we had, so at the end of the day, what are you going to do? I think ultimately this is probably the best release we're getting, at least out of Warner Brothers, and it's worth picking up for sure. It is definitely an improvement over the previous DVD releases, and also what was in that Superman 4K set that only came out like a little bit before this did. But I do recommend this overall. And then another DC release was Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This came out pretty quick because it bombed in theaters, because when you announce a reboot for your entire franchise, why would anyone go see the movies that are left from your previous franchise? I didn't mind this movie too much. I actually kind of liked it. Admittedly, I liked it for reasons that weren't Zachary Levi. I felt like he was the weak link of the cast. There he is. This is a 4K and Blu-ray Steelbook. There we got Helen Mirren looking awesome. And honestly, that's the thing that comes down to it, is that, like, I think this movie was good, but it leaned into Zachary Levi more than Asher Angel, who Asher Angel was doing a really nice performance as an older, more mature Billy. Zachary Levi was still playing a 12-year-old. And I think that sort of throws off the dynamic. Even though, I think everybody else did such a fantastic job, and this final battle was pretty great. Now, this being said, while I did like this movie, would I run to get a Steelbook? Normally, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think the Steelbook looks cool. I think putting the dragon on front is awesome. But here's the thing with me. It's not that I have Shazam on Steelbook and Black Adam and the Suicide Squad, which is a movie I don't even like, and then Wonder Woman 84, which is a movie that I don't think anyone likes. Tell me if you're a big Wonder Woman 84 stan. Birds of Prey, a movie I did like, but other people didn't. Shazam, which was universally praised for those that actually watched it. Aquaman, which was like the only one to make $1 billion. Justice League, which this Steelbook was released for the dumb theatrical version, and I put the Zack Snyder version in. Or Wonder Woman, which was probably the best movie of the DCEU, for being honest, the most well-received at least. Suicide Squad, which was a hacked-together mess by a music video company. Then there was Batman v Superman, which ruined Warner Brothers as a company because they couldn't just stick with the movie they were given. And Man of Steel, which kicked this all off. I have every DCEU movie on Steelbook, and I have them all on 4K. And The Flash came out in theaters and bombed pretty great, so that's awesome. I wasn't a fan of anything about that movie, and I'm going to end up owning it on Steelbook, so stay tuned for the next Blu-ray haul, because I'm sure it'll be out by then, and we'll have the quote-unquote complete DCEU until Aquaman 2 comes out, because nobody knows what they're doing over with this franchise. I just hope whatever James Gunn does, the new DCU, turns out good, because otherwise, DC's pretty sunk at movies, honestly. They're pretty screwed with their main connected universe stuff, because everything that's not connected to their universe with Joker and the Batman was way more popular and successful. But at least I have these not so popular and not so successful movies all on 4K and Steelbook. Like a smart, responsible collector. I like DC, guys. And this franchise just ultimately didn't work out. So Marvel showed up in more ways than I thought this time. It's actually because I've been on a little side project. First things first, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Going with the Shazam Fear of the Gods thing. Not anybody's favorite movie, I think, but did I hate it? No. Do I think it's good? Not really. It's definitely one of the weaker MCU movies. Hearing about a lot of the behind-the-scenes drama where, they were reshooting the ending like a couple weeks before the premiere. What are you doing? Studios, you're spending too much money on movies and you're having too many late-minute changes. Just commit to an idea and just go with it and see how it goes. But anyways, I did think that this did lose a bit of the Ant-Man charm. I love the Ant-Man movies. I really do. This is probably like one of my favorite MCU movies right here with Ant-Man. I enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania, it was lacking something. It was lacking Luis. It was lacking the family aspect. Especially because, Cassie's a main character now, and her parents, we just don't ever hear about them at all, or see them. They're just, it was lacking a lot of the aspects of, Scott Lang is, a massive screw-up, but he keeps trying because the people in his life are worth it, and I feel like we just kind of lost a lot of that, and the aging up of Cassie via Endgame opened up the potential for some storylines, but we didn't really explore that because we were too busy setting up King the Conqueror. So, yeah, I think this is a cinematic universe syndrome hit this movie bad. Now, I did think that there was a lot of good things going for it, but there was also a lot of bad things going for it, which was essentially that Marvel was trying to do the Star Wars thing, and to some extent the Star Trek thing, because they do it as well, using digitally rendered backgrounds in the camera, except everything this movie did was flat and weird. So it didn't really, enhance the experience. I will say that, they made a good effort to kind of do something with the quantum realm to feel alien. Unfortunately, it just started feeling like they were trying to do Star Wars because the director did an episode of Mandalorian and was like, I want to do Star Wars. And they're like, you don't get a Star Wars movie. He's like, I want to do it in Ant-Man. It felt very much knockoff Star Wars. And then on top of that, Ant-Man's powers don't do anything in the quantum realm. Shrinking, growing, what does it matter when everything looks alien and weird? The charm of these two films and a lot of their action sequences was seeing the shrunk or grown heroes in relation to things we know. When you're in the quantum realm where everything's weird and alien, you don't recognize anything, their powers are basically meaningless. So yeah, I think that was kind of a misfire. That being said, yeah, I bought it on Steelbook because I had the other two Ant-Man movies on Steelbook. And that's the thing, is that's the kind of a thing I'm doing. It's if I have other movies on Steelbook, I'll get the Steelbook. If I don't, I'll just get the regular. And I do say that at least the artwork does look nice. This isn't like an ugly Steelbook like the Across the Spider-Verse Steelbook. But yeah, anyways, that's just, it's the next MCU edition. I wouldn't have gotten a Steelbook if I didn't already have Steelbooks. All right, so I've been going through a list of Marvel stuff that I have and don't have. Avengers Confidential, Black Widow, and Punisher. This is an animated movie that was done by Madhouse after they had done several Marvel animes for them. This is basically just a Black Widow and Punisher story that has some cameos from Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor. This was released by Sony, because Sony owns those Madhouse Marvel animes. It's on DVD and Blu-ray in this, plus a couple bonus features, which is pretty neat. I believe it does have the Japanese audio. Yeah, it does have English and Japanese. So this came out 9 years ago, and the reason why I didn't have it was because I forgot about it. I'm not a huge Punisher fan. I like Black Widow, but I kind of just kept forgetting to get this. It's one of those weird, I sort of forgot it existed. Despite, having Iron Man Rise of Technovore, and also Blade, X-Men, Wolverine, and Iron Man. So all of the Madhouse Marvel animes they did that were all in the same universe together, despite Wolverine having completely two different art styles. These are all in the same universe. They did the shows on DVD and then the movies on Blu-ray. But, you know, these are all the same universe. Sony released all of these. For a while, I was just sitting with this, and I was like, yeah, that's everything, right? Black Widow appeared here, so and Punisher. Actually, that's right. Black Widow and Punisher both appeared in the Iron Man movie, so I kind of forgot they also got their own spin-off. So, yeah, I mean, I've completed the collection now. It just took me like 9 years to do so. Going alongside that, this adds to it. Once Upon a Deadpool. This was a PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2 released for Christmas. I remember even the tickets, I think like most of the money went to charity or something. Ryan Reynolds did some really nice stuff with this. This was eventually released on Blu-ray. Kind of was like, you know, am I ever going to buy the PG-13 cut of Deadpool? I went to go see it in theaters, actually, because Ryan Reynolds was like, we're doing a charity campaign where you buy tickets, you know, money's getting donated to charity. I thought that's great, and I thought it'd be fun to see this. He brought in Fred Savage and did a whole Princess Bride parody. It's fun. So I liked this alternate cut. Naturally, they didn't include it with the Deadpool 2 Blu-ray because that was already out by the time this came out. But I just never picked it up. I got added to Disney Movie Club. I was ordering Peter Pan and, you know, Jungle Book and all that. And so I tossed it in. So I got it for like less than $10. So, you know, it's a good addition to my, you know, Deadpool collection. But yeah, it's kind of a neat little inclusion. And then adding to that, also added to Disney Movie Club. I don't know if this was there for a while. I just decided to look one day. The complete 1994 Iron Man series. So this was released onto 3 DVDs. It looks about as good as the 90s Iron Man looks. A lot of the animations for Marvel animation in the 90s. I don't know why Dreadnought here got like all the focus. But this show, it's probably my least favorite of the initial 90s shows. It's just, I don't like it as much as Hulk or Fantastic Four or Spider-Man or X-Men, which we're about to talk about. But it did have a complete DVD set, so I did want to own it. I got it for less than $10 because it was through Disney Movie Club where they had a good deal on it. This is, you know, pretty bare bones release. It's 2.0 stereo. It's in the proper aspect ratio. It's the whole series. So you get the first half where he had the Force Works team, and then you get the second half where he tells the team to piss off, and then they just leave. If you haven't seen it, probably watch it on streaming before you decide if you want the DVD. For me, I did want it at least to go with my Marvel animation collection. All right, so speaking of that, here is X-Men 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have been a huge fan of X-Men for a long time in my life. There is all of them together. We're going to talk about this. I love X-Men. I think there's no bad X-Men show, honestly. Like, the 1992 X-Men the Animated Series, great. Evolution's great. Wolverine the X-Men's the best. Don't fight me. This show did get a DVD release. Evolution never had a complete set release. I have the Wolverine the X-Men Blu-ray, but I did not have this. And the reason why is because I didn't buy these when they first came out. Because I think when these came out, when were these? 2009. I was into DC so heavily when Marvel started releasing some of their shows on disc. Same thing with Iron Man. I was getting into DC like heavily at the time, and I was like, I'm only DC, no Marvel. So I didn't pick these up. And then over the years, for whatever reason, Volume 2 and Volume 4 became so hard to get, and then they were going for like $40-45 a pop. Totally not worth it, especially because these aren't remastered. They're just what they had put on a disc. So I've been watching them in years for a wish list. I finally got both of these for about $18 a pop. Like, finally some third-party sellers lowered the price. Volume 4 is an English release. Volume 2, you may notice the French here and the French here. This is because this is the Canadian release, which it's the exact same discs as the US release. It just has French on the covers and the backs. But this is the same exact DVDs inside. So I may print myself a different cover because, you know, if we noticed here when I lined them up on the side, you can see, yeah, Volume 2 is sticking out a little bit. But then Volumes 1, 3, and 5, going with the fact that 2 and 4 are just harder to find the others. 1, 3, and 5 are on Disney Movie Club, so I just got them from there. These sets are pretty decent. I think, they're 2 discs a pop. So you can see this is featuring Night of the Sentinels. This is new artwork they made for the DVD. It's the first 16 episodes, so it's a little bit more than the first season. The first season's at 13. So a little bit more than that. Volume 2 featuring the Phoenix Saga. Once again, new artwork here. This is 17 through 33. Volume 3 featuring the Dark Phoenix with Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix there. Nice X-Men shot. This has episodes 34 through 48. Volume 4, featuring Beyond Good and Evil, the original finale to the show, that has episodes 49 through 62. And then Volume 5, featuring Old Soldiers, starring Captain America. Great episode. Probably the best one of that final season, putting him there. I like how Longshot's chilling there. And then that's 63 through 76. Now, like with a lot of 90s and 80s shows, the episodes are out of order. The first 33, I think, are correct, and then everything after is mixed up. That's due to production airing problems with the show. If you're wondering what the correct order is, you can always look it up on Wikipedia, but I recommend this book. Previously on X-Men, the Making of an Animated Series, done by series creator and showrunner Eric Lewald. This book is one of the greatest books for an animation fan of any kind, because Eric goes through the breakdown of the production schedules and if they were going to make things happen, and talking about the challenges and fighting with Stan Lee, and going through the episodes getting suddenly bumped up, how the ratings affected it, what caused the show to get delayed, how they originally had a narration for the opening, all kinds of great stuff in here. But more specifically to our topic at hand, there is the filmography chapter, which is in here as Chapter 15, and you can see we've got Night of the Sentinels Part 1 and 2 is listed as 1 and 2, but because of the DVDs having things out of place, if you notice here, number 61, Weapon X Lies and Videotape, out of order DVD number 45. So if you go look at your DVDs, Weapon X Lies and Videotape is number 45 on the DVDs when it should be number 61. So you can follow this because he does not have it in production code order, but the order they wrote the episodes in, which I think is more essential than just what it aired and what the production order is. I don't know if this book's still available on hardcover, but I think it is out in paperback. Highly recommended if you love this show because it's absolutely worth it. Last thing I will say, my cool 90s Wolverine bookmark with the tassel, that's mine. That did not come with the book. But I had a chance to meet Eric and Julia Lewald at a convention once, and that's where I got this book from. Absolutely worth it. If you love this show, spiel about X-Men over. Glad to have that finally in my collection. And with Iron Man, I do have all the DVDs for the 90s Marvel shows that did exist in North America, and one day I might do a video about that. So here we have the Discotek stuff I picked up. Some may ask, why do you buy so much Discotek? Because they make literally the most obscure niche stuff that I love, so you know, they gel with me. Like, most of the time they put out something, I'm like, I know what that is, I want it. Or they'll show something and I'll be like, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to try it. Here's something I love. King of Bray's GaoGaiGar Final. This is the 7-episode OVA to follow up the King of Bray's GaoGaiGar. Pretty much when they announced GaoGaiGar, I was like, oh, I hope they get Final, because Final has never been released officially in North America until now. And it is using the newest Blu-ray transfer from Sunrise's restoration project, and it's beautiful. It looks incredible. Brand new subtitles, really great. Plus you get openings, endings, trailers, promos, plus more, including live performances of songs. This is a great companion to their King of Bray's GaoGaiGar set that released earlier this year, and they look really nice together on a shelf. Look at that. GaoGaiGar Final. Really great. I love having both shows on Blu-ray, and hopefully we'll get to see more Brave series in the future. Next up, we have Sonic X Japanese language versions. This is all 78 episodes in standard definition. There was no way to remaster this. On the front cover, we got Sonic and Shadow. On the inside, we've got all kinds of characters with like Rouge and Eggman. This is all official Sonic art. This is all the episodes plus openings, endings, storyboards, commercials, and pilots for both the Japanese and English versions. It is on 2 discs, so you get the New World and Sonic Adventure Sagas, episodes 1 through 39 on 1 disc, and then the Homebound and Meta-Rex Saga 40 through 78 on the other. Now, for those unaware of standard definition Blu-ray, it is essentially taking something that cannot be upgraded to HD, but putting it on a Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray has higher capacity, so when you put standard definition video on Blu-ray, you get a higher resolution, better picture and audio output, as well as the fact you can fit 78 episodes on 2 Blu-rays as opposed to like a 10, 12 disc box set, which is saving you money because these SD Blu-ray releases are super affordable considering that you only have 2 discs. Now, of course, Discotek has done Sonic in the past. They did The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog also on SD Blu-ray recently. And a little while ago, they did the English language version of Sonic X on SD Blu-ray. So there we go. You know, you can see that they have essentially the same spine for the English and Japanese. The Japanese does have the rounded corners, where the English has the hard corners, just because that's a thematic switch they've done. I do appreciate how the cover art is different on both of these from each other, so you can tell them apart right away. They do look nice together on a shelf with that. Let's throw in Sonic Boom from In Circle, who doesn't think that SD Blu-ray is worth doing. And then, of course, the Paramount movies. So you can see we got a nice little Sonic Blu-ray collection coming along here, which is really, really nice. Discotek's not doing any more Sonic after this because they haven't been able to get the rights to anything. But there is more Sonic releases in the future, and we'll talk about them when we get them. Continuing the loop on the third TV specials, Angel Tactics. This one was Special 17 from 2005. Love the packaging. Yet again, their Lupin releases are great. Not sure exactly what the next Lupin will be. Lupin Zero is coming out from Sentai Filmworks, but the next Discotek Lupin, we're not sure yet, but there's still plenty of Lupin to go, even though we've gotten tons of Lupins so far. Here's a cool release. Mazinkaiser versus the Great General of Darkness was a film reimagining of Mazinger Z versus the Great General of Darkness, the first theatrical Mazinger Z film, and then this is the Mazinkaiser version of it. This was pretty cool because it wasn't licensed prior. Mazinkaiser, the OVA series, was, but this movie wasn't. And so Discotek not only licensed the film, provided new subtitles, they actually produced a dub for this. So it has a brand new English dub in addition to openings, endings, and picture albums. So it's pretty cool because this is a great release. The only thing I question is, where is Mazinkaiser, the OVA series? Hopefully it's not locked up in a vault and inaccessible, because I'd love to see Discotek release that, and maybe this is a precursor to something like that in our future, especially because they are doing Mazinger Z on Blu-ray, so that's pretty exciting. Here we have Medabots, the complete Japanese series. This is the first 52 episodes presented on standard definition Blu-ray. Much like Sonic, this is a pretty great way to have it. All 52 episodes, brand new English subtitles. This is the Japanese version released for the first time. Really nice artwork inside. It is 52 episodes on one disc, which means you don't ever have to take that disc out. You can just binge the show, which is really, really fun. They have confirmed they will be doing Medabots Spirits on SD Blu-ray as well, and that is super exciting. Pairing that, plus this, plus the English sets, we've got a pretty good complete Medabots collection. The interesting part here is with the dub. Since the dub was a different edit, that's why it's not a dual language release. The dub had 26 episodes, split into Season 1, Season 2, probably for legal reasons, where this could just be one set. So these are the equivalents of each other. The dub also had episodes out of order, but these are in the correct order. And then Medabots Season 3, Spirits, was its own set, and we will, of course, be seeing the Japanese version of that in the future. Project A-ko 4 Final is the last Project A-ko film. They did confirm they can't get the Versus OVAs, but they can at least release the 4 A-ko films. I have not seen any of these still. I have a friend, Fighter Kaus, who loves the Project A-ko films, and he told me, wait till you got all 4 and then binge them all, because he really loves the first one and the last one, I think. In the middle two, he's kind of a little bit more mixed on. But yes, we have Project A-ko, A-ko 2, A-ko 3, and A-ko 4. Now, these have been fully restored from their original film masters. Beautiful work, beautiful restoration work on the visuals and on the subtitles to be up to snuff and super awesome, and they look really nice together on a shelf. Really, really great. You can see one of the other characters on the other side. I am planning to watch all of these movies probably when I have a nice rainy day or a day off, if I ever get ahead on video work, to just binge through Project A-ko, but the whole movie series is now out. All right, Iria Zayram the Animation is one of the most exciting releases for me. Zayram was a film duology. This is the anime spin-off / prequel. It's an icon of 90s OVA anime world. You can see we have that cover here. Inner cover is Iria herself. It is presented on a single Blu-ray. All 6 episodes have been restored from their original film masters. The subtitles have been touched up. They also include the English dub, plus interviews with Keita Amamiya, Masakazu Katsura, including the openings and endings, credit lists, trailers, galleries, art galleries, all kinds of cool stuff. It is an absolute amazing thing. Now, if you have the previous Discotek Iria release, which was the Master Collection, which was the 6 episodes on 2 discs, this was a very nice release for the time, and I do like the inner artwork here with Zayram and Iria. this is really nice to have for that aspect, but I would absolutely say don't go get this DVD if you want to buy the show. Absolutely pick up the Blu-ray because this is 100% better. This is a pretty solid release, but this is even better. And the bonus features are the same, so that is pretty good. It's also kind of funny. They did use the same spine design, but the inner art and the cover art actually changed positions here between the two. But it is pretty nice to see. The other great thing with having Erie is you pair this with the Media Blasters releases of the live-action films, Shazam and Shazam 2, we have the entire Shazam franchise on Blu-ray in North America. And that is pretty incredible stuff. And then lastly, there was a Right Stuff sale on Discotek. I wish I had a little bit more money to just go through and pick up some more stuff, but I absolutely had to grab City Hunter 2 Part 1, Episodes 1 through 38, and City Hunter 2 Part 2, 39 through 63. These are the complete, this makes the complete City Hunter 2 series. City Hunter is one of those, until Discotek started releasing it, I really wasn't like into it. I didn't know it that well. I love it now. I've been watching the first series over the last few months, just kind of periodically when I want that kind of 80s anime feeling or just feel like watching something like City Hunter. I have been watching it. I'm going to ramp it up now because this was the missing part to my collection. I was kind of waiting initially to see if they would do a City Hunter 2 complete set like they did City Hunter 1, but on a live stream they said, yeah, don't wait for that. If we do that, it's going to be after these have sold out and are out of print, and that could be a while. So I thought, all right, you know, I should just go pick it up when it goes on sale, just because I do like to keep the budget. You know, all those I pre-ordered, so when I can get things on sale, I will. So yeah, Right Stuff had them on sale, so there's City Hunter 2 Set 1 and 2. Of course, I have covered these in previous Blu-ray hauls. I have 3, 91, the movie and TV collection, and Shinjuku Private Eyes. And then, of course, here is City Hunter 1 right there. So I have the entire City Hunter series so far. There is a new City Hunter movie coming this year, though, which is pretty exciting. Also, unusual for Discotek, but none of the spines line up. I think the closest ones was 3 and 91 here. But otherwise, they're a little bit all over the place. I don't mind too much. It's something I'm just getting used to, but it would have been nice if they lined up a little bit better. But in general, this is really nice to have all of City Hunter. Plus, I have all of Cat's Eye, so I have this whole universe so far, and that's pretty great. Hopefully, Discotek gets to do the new City Hunter movie, because I would love to see them be able to have a complete collection of City Hunter. So that does it for my Blu-ray haul for Q2 of 2023. Tell me what you thought was the coolest release in the stack, or tell me what was your favorite release that you picked up in the last 3 months. There is a lot of cool stuff to be looking forward to in the future. I am definitely going to be having more Blu-rays when we talk about these again in September. So until then, be sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell, hit the like button while you're down there, and stay tuned for future Blu-ray videos on the channel, as well as the normal toy videos we do as well. Also, be sure to check out my live streams Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about Blu-ray and DVD news as it comes up, and have other cool discussions. We talked about recently how DVD has managed to cling on to life, possibly because of the people making discs, not necessarily just the customer base. And so go check out those live streams or the archives of the previous ones. Also, be sure to check out my social media at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Soundout12, as long as those are still applicable. You can find my awesome graphic designer on Twitter, DarkClaw643, and Hero Club at HeroClub.com for geek news and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.